Hey, I'm Kelly. This is my dog Moto. This is my RV. And this is a guitar I just built. Let's talk about this guitar I just built. There was no information on the internet when I bought this kit, so I figured I'd do this impromptu little video and show you what happened here. Alright, let's get to it. So let's back up real quick and figure out why I bought a guitar kit, headless guitar kit at that. As you can see, this is my RV. My wife and I took early retirement and we're really enjoying it, and I'm getting back into playing guitar and recording. So I've got a DAW setup, super simple little mini PC, little input there, a keyboard, and a couple things. But I had that Strat that you can see back there, maybe. There it is. Woo-hoo, hiding. And I liked it, but I had a few issues. I bought it at a like a garage sale type thing. Anyway, I just need a really simple setup. I like to sit right here while I record. And I just want a really simple setup that I could get some good tones out of and write guitar music with. And the more research I did, the more I realized I wanted a headless guitar. I'll show you why here in a minute. But basically, the ergonomics is a big reason why I want it. There's several sitting down positions with this style guitar, which is a Stromberg replica. And then without the headstock, it makes the guitar so much smaller and lighter that you can really, I'll show you, you can just throw it in your lap. It's super easy to use. It's actually, after I got it and started using it, it's even better than I hoped, which is great, right? So let me dig that Stratocaster out and I'll show you something real quick. Okay, we're back, right, Moto? So here's, he's really tired. We had some people over. Anywho, here's the big deal, right? Look at the difference in size in these guitars. It's ridiculous. They're both the same scale length, but the Stromberg style guitar doesn't really have much overhang in the back where the Strat does. Obviously, there's no headstock, so there's that, 8 inches missing off that headstock. The body's way smaller, so it's much lighter. It's just, so it's ergonomically better, it's way lighter, and it's super easy to live with in a small space where you're recording and sitting down. And that was, that's what I'm doing, right? I'm sitting right here, recording, using these things. The Strat worked. I did find it cumbersome. I like to put it down right over here, and I'll show you in a minute how the headless guitar does really well for this. Okay, we're back. So, as you can see, I can simply just lay that down right there. It doesn't have any headstock or tuning pegs at that end, so there's no way you can knock it out of tune. Not only that, if I want, I can set it right here too, which is great. There it is. Just sits right there. I'm sitting here in my chair, grab the guitar, play it. That's it. Works great. Guess I could have turned some light on back here. Okay, so here's another angle, right? I can move my chair back a little bit, put my cordless keyboard there, cordless mouse, I have my DSP, my DAW, all of my stuff. Grab my guitar, plug it in, throw the headphones on, play some stuff. Can set it down right here, no big deal. Won't go out of tune. In fact, this guitar does not go out of tune, period. It just does not go out of tune. It's rock solid. We'll talk about the guitar itself in a second, but yeah, I love it. Set it right there. It's out of the way. My dog can walk. He likes to sit over here sometimes when I'm working here. He likes to look out the window and hang out with me. Right, Moto? He's falling asleep. So useless sometimes. So anyway, that's it. That's my cool setup. That's why I wanted this guitar. I got this guitar. Now let's talk about it. Let's talk about the build. Let's talk about the kit. There's a lot of interesting stuff. I have a bunch of good photos because when I was looking for this thing, I couldn't find any photos of anything for it. In fact, even from the manufacturer, there wasn't anything. I don't know. Anyway, if they advertised this guitar and fixed a couple things, they could probably sell the crap out of them. But the way they're doing it now, not so much. So, anywho, let's get on to the guitar itself and talk about that. So, as mentioned several times, this was a guitar kit. I'll post some pictures of the kit itself and stuff as we talk about this and look it over. Um, Mahogany body, uh, a patented proprietary tailpiece that I see on a billion different Chinese guitars right now. Uh, Dual humbuckers, 3-position switch, tone and volume, 24 fret ebony fretboard with dot inlays. That's actually, the whole thing's pretty nicely done, honestly. I can't really gripe too much about any of it. Well, except for there's something down here. Is that nut missing? Sure looks like it. That's odd. We'll talk about that in a second. Okay, so here's the back side of it. I did forget to mention the jack location, which is awesome. You can, when you're sitting with this on your lap, and it's there, or if you're sitting like classical style, it's here. Either way, 90-degree plug, nothing's in the way ever. Bolt-on neck. It's a 5-piece neck. Got the truss rod adjustment at this end. Strings go in at that end. Looks like a roasted neck, but it's because I stained it. We'll talk about that in a second. So I built this cool guitar, and it took a while to build. You have to do everything, put the copper foil in here, you know, adjust everything. You have to kind of build the bridge and put it all together. You'll see from the pictures how far apart it is and how much you have to do. It's not a big deal, but I mean, it's a lot. The thing is, when you're building any guitar, once you've built it, then you have to set it up, and that's where a lot of the work is involved. And this bridge is interesting. It's not bad. I would say it's good. It's not great. There's some interesting quirks about it. But anyway, I got the guitar all set up, was all excited, sat down to play it. Action felt great. Played it, felt good everywhere, but when I played open chords, like open E, open G, D, whatever, where there's open strings ringing, it sounded horrible. And I'm like, wow, I set the intonation several times and I thought it was really good. Well, turns out this is a 0-fret guitar, which means the fret here at the end acts as the nut. This one also had a nut. You can see the groove there. I'll try to get it to focus in there. You can see the groove there where the nut was supposed to be. Here, maybe it would be better if I do this. And I took the nut out because it was a little bit behind the 0 fret and too tall. So the 0 fret wasn't doing anything. And the nut was acting like a nut, but as you can see, it's a 1/16 or more of an inch past the 0 fret, which is where the intonation starts. So any open strings were horribly flat with everything intonated correctly. I was all upset. I contacted them. They didn't seem real willing to help me. They did offer a few little things and I could return it, but geez, I'd already had like 8 hours of work into it, and I liked the guitar. I just wanted to fix it. I do have a friend that's a luthier. I was going to take it to him, which would have been a 2.5-hour drive and, you know, a bunch of time and work. Anyway, I got to measuring some stuff and looking, and you can see that fret is bigger, that the 0 fret is bigger, and it's actually correct. So I just dug the nut out. I could have just slotted it, but as you can see, this thing already has slots that hold this string in place. And they do actually move back and forth just slightly if you're bending on this end of the neck. You can see it, but it actually gives the guitar a unique and interesting feeling. But so anyway, once I fixed that, then it was on. Then I had to start all over with the intonation because it was completely incorrect, right? Because I had intonated it for this, and that wasn't right. So anyway, let me flip this around and I'll show you that. So to intonate this guitar, use those little set screws right there, and one of them locks these little, what are they called, concentric wheels. So the saddles where the strings go over are mounted on a round thing, and when you turn that, it raises it up and down. So you turn, as you look at each individual saddle, you turn the right one to actually set the height, string height, and the left one to lock it in place. And then down below there, you'll see these little screws, and what those do is hold the saddles front to back, so they slide, and then you can set your intonation. So it's actually quite a bit of work. And then to tune it, it goes through these brass rollers. As you can see, the strings go right in there into those brass rollers, and then you tune it with those thumb screws right there. You can also use your pick if you see the slots in the top. And it actually works pretty good. One thing about it is that it's Chinese quality, so it's good, but it's not great. If this bridge was made by like on a CNC machine by a a really good CNC operator, this would be a pretty amazing bridge. As is, it's a good bridge. It works well. I'll tell you what, it stays in tune like crazy. So once I got this guitar all set up, it really plays and stays in tune nice. The ebony fretboard's very nice. The frets are getting better with use because, of course, they're polishing themselves in as you go. But the ebony fretboard feels really nice. The action you can set really low. The body feels really good. The sounds are actually good. The pickups are very microphonic, which of course is not good, but I'm using it in a quiet environment where I'm just recording. So actually for my needs, I probably won't swap them out, although I may, just for the fun of it. So that's the guitar, and the issues I had with it. Let's talk about the build real quick. So the hole for this jack wasn't big enough, so you couldn't get it in there. So I had to hog that out to get that in. That was kind of a pain in the neck. The pickups don't fit that great in there, and it's like the spring that holds them up for adjusting is like too long, and it's all smashed in there, and it's a little bit hokey. Actually, once I got it in, got it adjusted, it's okay, but it's nothing to write home about, that's for sure. The pots, as you see from some of the inset pictures, are those small ones. They work fine. They sound fine. They actually, you can get different sounds by turning the tone and volume knob really easily. Works well. What else? The access to the 24th fret, which I'm not that great of a player, and I don't play solos where I'm, doing a bunch of finger picking at the 24th fret. But the access is amazing. There's zero issue getting access there. Like I said before, the frets are nice. The ebony fretboard's excellent. Let me flip this over and I'll talk about a few things. So here's the back side of the beast. As you can see, it's a bolt-on. No plates, just got the inserts, which I see that a lot. The neck was completely unfinished, which I'm sure you saw from the inset pictures. I went with just like a satin finish. I'll talk about that in a second. And I also did some modifications to this guitar, so let's talk about that. I cut this section out a little more. It was a little more hard edge like this, and where it touched my body when I was sitting down right here, it just kind of pressed up against a hard edge. So I sanded that. So this was already routed out, as you've seen for the pictures, and then I sanded this out and kind of rounded the whole body off. In fact, I might do that to the front too. I really like the look of it. And then I think that's about all I did. I stained the whole thing with kind of a walnut colored stain, and as you can see, like there's some dark areas. I really love it. It looks aged. It looks like a really cool old wood guitar. It's got, and the feel of the neck is amazing the way I have it. I'll show you what I used here in a second. Let me flip this back over. So here we are back at the front again. The other thing I did is I took, this was already relieved, for your arm coming over the top. It's kind of hard to see, but this is rounded a lot, where these edges are actually, they're routed, but they're pretty sharp as far as, not having any taper to them. So this was already tapered, and I just did it more because when I sit down, it's just a nice finish, or it feels nice against your forearm when you're playing. So anyway, as you saw from the inset pictures, this was unfinished, and I didn't need any fancy finish, and actually now that I'm done with it, I love how it turned out. But so I used to be into vintage audio, and that has a lot of wood speaker cabinets, wood cabinets for stereos and stuff like that, and this stuff was the preferred stuff to use for that, and it's been my go-to since for any sort of wood or furniture. So I did a light walnut stain on the whole thing, the guitar, body, and neck. And then I did 2 or 3 coats of that, let it dry, and buffed it out with paper towels. And it's satin finish and feel all around. And I tell you what, it feels great. It's just smooth and very organic feeling. Um, it's nice. I like how the finish ended up. I do want to show you one funny thing. This is a 3-piece. Look at the little sliver of wood that is on there. I think you can see that. There's one little sliver. You can see right here where the line is, and it goes across. It just catches that, which I think that's funny that there's just that little teeny cap on there. A couple things that is disappointing. One of the screws came through so far on the pickup that it penetrated the wood. It's right there. Which, what the heck, man, really? And the other thing I noticed once I started working on it, there's a big crack in this guitar. Right along the body right there. It doesn't matter. It's up where it's not, going to be structural. It's not near the neck. It's, none of that. But it is kind of disappointing. Again, this is just a recording guitar, and honestly, for what I need it for, it turned out better than I thought. What do you think, Moto? It turned out really good? You are one tired dog today, aren't you? So, anywho, that's it. There was no information. Now there's too much information. I hope this helps somebody. It's a cool kit. I honestly kind of want another one. I want to sand the body, contour the body, and do some stuff before This one I got in a big hurry and slapped it together almost instantly, and have been kind of refinishing it since, which is fine. I mean, it's a kit. I wanted to learn, how to build it, how to set it up, how to intonate it, how to, all of it, which I learned. Works great. It had that, major issue with that, and the bridge was a little interesting. But overall, it's a great guitar. It has some great sounds. It's a fun kit. It's $150 on Amazon. I mean, that's really hard to beat. And it does exactly what I need. It's ergonomic. It's small. It's light. It fits into my lifestyle perfectly. It plays excellent. It has. I've had some nice guitars at Ibanez Sabre, American made, like $1,500 guitar back in the day. Which is very nice, wizard neck, and Steve Vai, early Steve Vai-ish. And that was my main guitar when I played in a band in Portland, Oregon. And so anyway, that's it. The Leo Jaymz, Headless Guitar Kit from Amazon. All right, like and subscribe. Don't forget to do that. Jeez.